another episode of Echoes from the Church. And today is going to be more educative and more enlightening. My name is Nelly Frank, but I'm not alone in this segment of discussion. I am here with Father Victor Oguniemi, Director of Programs, Catholic Television. He's going to be anchoring this segment. Let's start with you, Monsignor. The priests of the Catholic Church. We have a whole lot of challenges facing them as priests. Please, at a time where a priest might be facing up and down, what do you do at this point to keep them on the straight and narrow as human beings with challenges?
Well, as you said earlier, the priests always have challenges everywhere, and the challenges are there. And we know that we have to train ourselves to be strong and also encourage people to be strong in the work of challenges. So we try to encourage the people and train people's minds to accept challenges and face them. We have our own challenges too, but that's what we are doing, encouraging people, strengthening their faith, and letting them stay strong in faith and unto God.
All right, Father, practically, you face a lot of challenges, not just because you are human, but as a priest. We would like you to share a brief with us and also encourage other priests that will be listening to us from this channel.
Yeah, thank you very much. The work of a priest is not an easy one. That's why it takes so long to train a priest. We are inspired by our Master himself, Jesus, who told us that whoever wants to follow him should take up his cross daily and follow him. And so we know that you cannot have priesthood devoid of the challenges and suffering. So for quite a number of times when we are challenged by difficulties, we take inspiration from Jesus, who went through it, believing and trusting in him. So again, it depends on the kind of challenge that we're talking about, because challenges are not the same. In our case, in the Diocese of Katsina-Ala, we have a very serious challenge of insecurity. And by the way, that's just a manifestation of a bigger problem. So it's a national problem, but it's particular with us as a church in Katsina-Ala Diocese. So when we have challenges such as that, they have direct impact on us because we are not effective in ministry. We have difficulties trying to give pastoral care to our people. They are killed, they are kidnapped, many of them have ransom paid, which literally impoverished them. Part of even what we were discussing yesterday is how we can give pastoral care to a church that is so challenged and ravaged by insecurity and banditry. So ours is to provide a whole gamut of help, of pastoral care. And as long as it concerns the person, human person, it's not just about physical provision, because we have issues of emotional challenges, we have physical challenges, we have spiritual challenges, and so on and so forth. So ours is a very challenging job, but it's to reach out to people who are deeply challenged. It affects us because we are not effective in our ministry. It challenges the growth of our diocese and affects people's faith. It does so much.
All right, thank you. Before you raised very significant burning issue, talking about insecurity. We will get to that in a moment. But before then, Father, please, a lot of challenges facing humans in general. Then we have a lot of them in our churches too. As a priest, what do you say or do to encourage members of your congregations that are dwindling, their faiths are dwindling because of the challenges they are facing?
The challenges facing the church are the challenges of the world, the challenges of our government, and also the challenges of our own societies. They are all bound together, and they come in different phases. As Father Bago said, we have a peculiar challenge in our own part of the country. Where a lot of people are just going about, they have no food to eat, and now they have no water. But the church is doing a very good work, sending out some priests to go and talk to them, consult them, give them some hope. That is what the church has been doing. Challenges may come from time to time, but as Father said, in as much as they come, we also will continue to confront them head on. Our Savior was challenged too when he took his own cross. He continued to rise after each fall. So, one, we go back to ourselves, we go back to prayer, and then we get some courage and we move on as the challenges do come.
We move on. Father Victor, yes. Moving on, very important, yes. Individually. Yes. But when it has to do with insecurity, lives and properties are in danger. Yes. Father.
Yes, very much pathetic in our time, okay? Not because it is new, but it's really unfortunate that the church of our time is facing so much insecurity. And every day we are hearing a lot of news about kidnapping, banditry, terrorism, killing of people, okay? And then it's really making the church to be unstable, okay? Scattering the fold. And then, of course, when the fold is scattered, the shepherds also will be scattered because he will not be there actually to be on the same spot to minister to the fold. In Katsina-Ala Diocese is part of the TIB environment, TIB land. Okay, in TIB land we have 3 dioceses: Boko Diocese, Katsina-Ala Diocese, and Makurdi Diocese. And these 3 local particular churches are facing a whole lot of insecurity. Okay, none is spared. So what are you really doing? Okay, let me put it this way. What is the church doing about insecurity? Or what is the government doing about insecurity? Okay, maybe I have to begin from Father Mujia. Okay. Okay. Yes, Father. So, can you say then Monsignor will say then the General will now wrap it up. Okay. Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, insecurity has been in our diocese for close to 15 years.
Okay. So long that?
Yeah, sure. When the new bishop came in, our first bishop, Bishop Peter Adobo, he faced this. And then he started some moves. He called the traditional rulers. They came together for a meeting, and they was looking for ways where things may be resolved. In the process of that, he passed on, and the leader of the gang was killed September 9, 2020. Yes. Yeah, the leader of the gang was killed. And that was why when things went out of hand, because a young man who had so many persons under his care, and it got to a point where he could not even control them. According to him, he was appointed by his kinsmen to be a guardian of his kindred. But then he employed a lot of youths where he could not handle them, and they went out of the way. So there was a lot of killings, a lot of kidnappings, and a lot of robbery in, day out. When Bishop Dugu came, Bishop Dugu said that the rosary is mightier than the AK-47. And that was why he started. So he started having meetings, open meetings, and workshops, and this and that. And then the government was involved. And to some extent, as if the level is coming down. That's where we are. Okay. The church had gone in right at the beginning, okay. And it's now that we're having some little peace.
Okay, that's great. Monsignor, insecurity in a TIB land, let's put it that way. Okay, or Katsina-Ala Diocese. Okay, any of the two will suffice. Okay, is it external insecurity or internal insecurity? Is it from Fulani S-men or from people within the communities?
First of all, it's so difficult because the insecurity is so strong because is coming from both ends, as you mentioned.
Okay.
As Father Michael Ncha said earlier, this thing started long ago, and our bishop then, Bishop Adobo, happened to be very well versed in, crisis situations, and he employed every means possible, engaging the chiefs, engaging the local people, engaging the government, and all into it. And things were moving. And as Father Michael said, when that other gang man was killed, when he was there, he was very powerful, and he exerted some kind of control on the people.
Okay.
When he was killed, it flayed off.
Oh.
Everybody was now looking for, positions that no other stronger person to control. Then it went off.
Okay.
The church has done so much.
Okay.
How long the church has always been there, engaging the chiefs, engaging the local community, and very many times we had meetings with them, town hall meetings, and we had meetings sometimes even with the bad guys themselves. We had meetings with them and pleaded with them. And sometimes they would pipe down as if things are okay, and then it will flare off sometimes again. Then the government has always been also very supportive. Right now, we had meetings with the governor. He also came, and we also have some strategies which are now beginning to work. Bishop has been very strong on it. Bishop has touched every part of Katsina-Ala Diocese, in fact every part of Sankra area, and to see and talk to these people. He's not afraid. He moves right down to where they are and talks to them. And this has really calmed down. I wonder if he had not put in the amount of work he has done, the resilience and all this, I wonder how it would have flared to be at this time.
Okay.
But our bishop has been very much on top of things, and the government has supported him so much.
Okay.
That's why things are a little bit calm.
Okay.
As you say, there are two facets.
Yes.
It's coming from the external forces,
Okay.
from the herdsmen,
Okay.
also from the bandits, which are internal.
Okay.
So when it's just like you are pushing one end. By the time you are done with this end, you come back another one starting here. So it hasn't been very easy at all, but we are trying.
Yeah, thank you very much for your input. Father?
Enlightening, explosive, educative, entertaining, engaging, enriching, extraordinary, expressive, expansive, exalting, and electrified.
This is Echoes from the Church.
Welcome back to Echoes, and today is Echoes from Katsina-Ala Diocese. Okay, we've discussed at length.
Father Godwin, yes, the Vicar General of Katsina-Ala Diocese, you hold a very, very high profile position. And I think you are going to be talking officially as the voice of Katsina-Ala Diocese right now. Okay, yeah. So, Father, when you give your inputs then can you actually also do a scoring, okay, either for the government, okay, and also for the church in handling the security challenges in Katsina-Ala Diocese?
Yeah, thank you very much. I won't do that in terms of rating, percentage.
Okay.
But I can do an appraisal of the situation.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, insecurity is a very complex phenomenon, quite complex. And in our case, within Katsina-Ala, it's also even more complex. This is a diocese that borders with other states and languages.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you were talking about internal or external, it's important to address that. We had close to Taraba State, we have the Jukum and the T people, but the Jukum bordered the T with T bordering that. We used to have this kind of interstate, intertribal crisis.
Yes.
And then you have these the herders, because traditional were farmers, and the Fulanis come in, and of course they always have this friction when the cows come to eat the yams of the TP and other crops.
Yes.
And then, so you have another form of crisis.
Yeah.
Now, in between these two, we also have the bad boys. Sometimes go into alliance with the herders. It's as if they ask them, come in, we give you cover, we give you protection. So they are there to protect them. Sometimes as if it's as their invitation they are coming. So those ones carrying guns and all that. Sometimes within you have intersectional crisis. People from this part of Benue, or this part of Tiblan, or this part of Dice, and this part of Dice. So it's a whole lot of complex. You know, the church is an agent of peace.
Sure.
So that's why the Madam Chair was stressing how the late Bishop Adogo tried to tackle the problem. In fact, he was given an award of the peaceful bishop, one of the most peaceful persons, because he took that responsibility to bring in peace. And so he did that, and unfortunately he passed on. And then the new bishop came. What the new bishop is doing is to build on what the old bishop did.
That's great.
That is why in the book, a little booklet which is titled Vision, which gives us an administrative direction of how we want to run the diocese. One of the pillars is on peace and reconciliation. And the Father is the one coordinating that peace. So it was right to turn to him first when you asked that question.
Yeah. That's great.
So, it's been building, but the church in Katsina-Ala has taken a very spiritual approach. That's the first approach, that of prayer. And that's why the bishop encouraged the recitation of the rosary. And that was why he described the rosary as being more powerful than
AK-47.
And indeed it has worked, that spiritual approach. Because as a church, we cannot be encouraged to go to buy guns and go to the battlefront and fight and kill. The church is for life, so we cannot go against life. So he's been doing that. And he has done that so well, and it accepts so well. When we turn to the government, but even before the new bishop, they passed, the first bishop had a relationship with the government, because you know that the primary responsibility of government is protection of life and property. So there was this alliance between the late bishop and Governor Otum, who was the governor then. They reached out, and that their interface resulted into what was called an amnesty, to allow the boys to come submit their weapons so that they will accept them back and integrate them back into the society. It was because that was not properly managed that the boys who submitted, or the gang, or the bandits who submitted their weapons, went back to it again. Now, when Bishop Adogo came, he again went into alliance with the government, because, properly speaking, that is a structure. The government that has a structure, it has the police, has the weapons, all that is required to fight, if it's about fighting.
Yes.
So there's a relationship now between the Diocese of Katsina-Ala and the government of Benue State.
That's good.
And luckily for us, the governor is a priest.
He's a priest.
He's our brother.
Yes.
So when we had a resurgence of banditry as a result of the killing of the kingpin, the bishop took up that responsibility with the government. And so the priest of the diocese invited the governor to come over. The bishop encouraged us through him. We invited the governor, and we told him the damage, how bad it is. Because we are on ground, we had a documentation of the kind of damage that was, So we told him, and then he was moved. And so we now decided to begin a peace process. And I'm interested to know that it's the bishop who is heading the peace process in Benue State. Not just Katsina-Ala, but also in Benue State. He's the chairman. So there's a peace roadmap that is designed by this government in collaboration with the bishop, who is the chairman of that. Father was also a member of that. So what they have done is to roll up a program of peace. So the key target is to demobilize the bandits, to rehabilitate them, and then to reintegrate them. These three keywords.
Okay.
We demobilize them, get the weapons back. We rehabilitate them, make them useful to the society, and then we empower them so that they will not go back to what they've been doing.
Okay.
I tell you, it can be difficult if this is not followed.
Wow.
Because what these people get in a day is not what you can tell them stop, and then we give them peanuts. They will not accept it.
No, not at
They will never accept it. So until a proper program is done and put in place to get these guys to live this kind of life, it will not work. But you know, it takes time for these things to happen. So as much as there's a program, it's taking time to happen. And that's why we're beginning again to have this resurgence. And it's happening as if we are the people, the government or the church is not serious.
Okay.
So if you can rate, everybody is trying. The
Yes.
diocese is trying, the state is trying. I don't want to give.
All right. Thank you very much.
But the government can do more.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you so much, Father. It's
Please,
still
before we quickly go, okay, like in the church, 30th of June is the Matters of Rome, first Matters of Rome. Is there anything like Matters Day in Katsina-Ala Diocese? Because some of these killings are actually religious based too. Okay?
Thank you very much. And that reminds us, sadly, we lost a priest
In the process.
on the prison mass a few days ago. This priest, Father Ferdinand Uban, was preparing to come down to Katsina-Ala for prison mass, and he was hacked dead in one of our parishes in the year 12. And a lot of people.
And it's a religious base, it's a persecution.
No, the bandits.
No, the bandits. The bandits.
Okay.
The bandits.
Okay.
But I told you this is very complex.
Yeah, okay.
It's very complex.
Okay.
So, and a whole lot of Christians are killed like that. As I see, only 2 months ago, one of my church leaders, also called a voluntary catechist, he was kidnapped, taken away. Ransom was being demanded. They paid ransom over 3-4 times. This man was killed. He's buried. We are only informed now that he's dead and he's buried. Even to retrieve the corpse so that we can give it a befitting burial is a problem. So that's what is happening. You know. So the diocese has decided now to collect the names of this and collect the names of those who are killed in that manner. And I put up a memorial site in respect of that so that they will be remembered, they will be prayed for.
Yes.
And luckily, the Kuka Foundation is trying to help us in that regard.
Okay.
Last week, my assistant priest, who's in charge of pilgrimages and course for saints, came over for a workshop in Abuja here in the Kuka Foundation. So they are preparing to erect a memorial site. And there are a lot of places that this is done. You may remember the famous Zakibiam massacre.
Yes.
The other one, the Gbeji massacre. So we're trying to get the names together, put up some event to remember, to immortalize, to remember, and to pray for those people who have been killed like that.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Father, the discussion has been so impactful, so educative, and
very engaging.
Yes,
because
it's discussions from experiences, what they have experienced in their own locales and what they have been doing to curb it. All right, let's speak to us now practically. What do we suggest we should do? We've shared so much about what's happening in the Katsina-Ala Diocese, in Benue State, and what we have done. Now let's take it practically. What would we say should be done to curb this insecurity? Not just in Katsina-Ala Diocese, not just in Benue State, but the society at large. Musaina, please.
Well, I would like to first of all suggest that we follow the first system we started by prayer. And when our first bishop started this process, it was prayer that was the main thing that we are facing. We engaged ourselves in interdenominational prayer sessions and all sorts of things, praying for peace in our country and peace particularly in our diocese. So we continue with that prayer that we continue to work. We also say that also the process while we try to engage these boys, as the Vicar General said, trying to bring them back, trying to go through a different process of bringing them back and reintegrating them into the society. You know, like when they started the amnesty, if it were done properly, it was going to go a long way to help. So now it's also the same process that we help. If only we can get these people back and give them some kind of training, and then make sure they have some means of livelihood that is better. We divert their attention. We first of all change their orientation and make them feel better in a different way. If we can only give them new orientation about life and how they can live, that will also help. Because remaining here, as the Vicar General said, they're making a lot of money when they kidnap. So now, even if you bring them back and say, okay, we're going to train you as carpenters and as masons and all this, they'll still not see much in it. But if we change their orientation, that's key to it. If we change their orientation, they will begin to accept what they can do with their own hands and achieve by their own efforts, better than what they are forcing people to give them.
Okay. So we have discussed so much, and we believe that you have also learned so much from these segments and this episode of Echoes from Katsina-Ala Diocese, speaking generally to the whole nation. And this is the much we can take today, and it's been so enlightening, so entertaining, engaging, and explosive. Father,